This is Kenshin1913, or Pete, along with his mom, and today, or mom actually, sorry about that.
Hello.
And today we're going to be doing another Cooking with Kenshin1913. And what are we doing today?
We're doing a syrup, a fresh fruit dessert syrup.
Yeah, because it's the summertime, or at least when I'm going to upload this. It's the summertime, and you might be having fresh fruit in your garden, or even purchasing fresh fruit at the supermarket, and you're wondering, what's another way I could do something with it that isn't involved just eating it straight out of the little carton or whatever. So we're going to show you a super cool way to use it. Very versatile.
Okay, what we need is a little pan to cook our fruit in. We're going to use about 3/4 of a cup of water.
Because today we're actually, what are we making?
We're making a simple syrup to put the fruit in, so it becomes absolutely delicious for all of our dessert needs.
Yeah, and a simple syrup is usually the ratio is 1. Well, let's continue on.
It's usually 1 to 1.
Yeah.
I have experimented with this because of depending on how much actual fruit you have. Then we have 3 tablespoons of sugar, granulated sugar.
Yeah, so the simple syrup is sugar to water, in case
and
you didn't
I have 1 tablespoon of flour, all-purpose flour.
All right. Now we have here fresh raspberries from our garden right here. If I can focus, hold on. All right, yeah.
And
well, anyways, we have fresh.
This is about one of the small containers that you would get from the store.
Such like this
it's actually less than a pint. And as we mentioned, there's an abundance of fresh fruit out now. So you can do this.
Yeah, we're gonna
with blueberries.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing
strawberries. We actually did it this past weekend. We have a sour cherry tree, and we ended up doing about this much of the cherries.
So yeah, this recipe is very versatile. You can use any kind of fruit that you want.
Yep,
really.
Abundance of peaches now, nectarines, plums. So you can experiment and see which dessert syrup you like the best.
All right. So for the sake of this episode, we are going to make raspberry syrup. So what do we do first, MOM?
Okay, what we're going to do is to pour our water into the pan.
Okay.
And then we're going to add our sugar right into it. And we're going to put our
oven on, our stove.
The stove on, and
begin to stir.
And what we want to happen is for all of the sugar to melt and incorporate into the water, and this is what they call a simple syrup. And as Peter mentioned, most of the time it's 1 to 1, so it would be 1 cup of water versus a cup of sugar.
But for this case, you might not need as much sugar due to the fact that the fruit will already be pretty sweet as it is, depending on which ones you're using. So you might not need to use it.
Okay, so as you can see, the sugar is all melted.
Yeah.
And what we want to do is to bring this up to a boil.
Yeah.
And as soon as this comes up to a boil, we are going to add our raspberries.
And yeah. Okay, we'll be right back as it boils.
Hi, welcome back. And as you can see, our water is boiling, our simple syrup, which is water and sugar. And we're going to add our fresh raspberries. One note, please make sure anytime you're using fruit, you do rinse it off.
Yep.
And that's why mine has already been rinsed and it's in the strainer.
Yeah.
So we're going to add this to the water, and then we're going to, because this is on high, we're going to lower this to about a medium. And what I do next, just to make the syrup a little thicker, is I take my my potato masher, and then just go in and squish a little bit down. And you can actually do this even as the raspberries have cooked a little bit. And as you can see, it's just mashing them up a little bit so that they will everything will get nice and thick.
Yeah. Now another thing you could do is if you have one of these electric mashers, I guess, or what the hell are they called now?
It's kind of like a blender. It has a blade. People use it to make mashed potatoes, to mix soups. It's very versatile, and we've used it in the past when I've made fresh jam, where it will grind up the pulp of the fruit, and
especially cherries. Cherries seem to be the hardest ones to grind up. So as you can see, we are working on just mixing it around and letting the raspberries cook down a bit and turn it into a delicious syrup. Now, one variation you can do if you are making cherries is what?
With cherries, most of the time you want it to taste almost like a cherry pie. And what you do is, I have always added a little drop of almond extract. That brings out the delicious flavor. Now, as you can see, this is boiling.
Kind of makes it like a cherry pie.
You want to make sure that you're watching it and you don't let it come so high up that it's going to boil over on your stove. Because then you'll have a little bit of a mess to clean up.
So now here's where the secret comes in a bit. Well,
and
not really,
this here is I'm adding a little. This happens to be 1 teaspoon now, and I'm just going to sprinkle this over the top.
And this is a teaspoon of flour.
And you'll see how much you need. As I mentioned in the beginning, I actually measured out 1 tablespoon, but
you might not need that much.
You might not need that. And so what's going to happen now is you're going to incorporate this and make sure that you get out any kind of little lumps in it. Oops.
Just like the bechamel sauce that we made in the last episode, the flour is going to make this the syrup a little thicker so that it is easier to pour onto various things. And
so you have to have patience.
Yeah.
And as you can see, we're going to let this continue to boil down. You will be able to judge how thick you want your syrup. The raspberry syrup, it's very good when it's a little bit on the thicker side. So this is going to boil down to almost become half of what was in the pan.
So we will be right back when we have it to that
consistency.
Measurement.
Okay, our raspberry syrup has been boiling for about 10 minutes or so, and as you can see,
you gotta keep spinning it.
You have to keep mixing it around, and as you can see, it's gotten thicker. Some people who don't like the seeds, you can actually take a small strainer and strain it through, so you'll just end up having the juice. You know, it's absolutely delicious this way as well. If you would like it a little bit thicker, you just keep it on your stove a little bit longer and let it boil down.
This is a nice consistency. Now, what are some of the things that we can put this on, actually?
Oh my goodness, we can do it with anything. You can do it, we had it over the weekend with sponge cake, ice cream, the syrup, and a little bit of whipped cream. You can put it on pound cake. You can put it on pancakes. French toast, waffles. You can drizzle it in your ice cream, mix it up.
Like we have right here, actually.
Actually, my husband mixed it last year in his ice cream, and it was almost like a swirl.
Yeah, like a raspberry swirl.
A raspberry swirl ice cream. You could actually even refreeze it if you'd like to.
Yeah.
You can drizzle it on a warm croissant. Some people
just
like
anything, really.
Anything that you would.
So let's throw a little bit on this ice cream here. We got with some vanilla wafers.
These are actually sugar wafers, not vanilla wafers.
Oh, sugar, whatever.
Okay.
They're all the same to me. So yeah, look how delicious that looks. And usually, you want to let that cool down a bit.
Yeah, usually I will let this cool because number one, it's going to melt your ice cream right down. And when you have leftover, if you have any leftovers, you can put it in a little container, a plastic container or a jar, and put it in the refrigerator for another day to enjoy.
Yeah. So yeah, and how long will that last up till?
Oh, it'll last a week if it's in your refrigerator for a week and somebody doesn't eat it up on you.
Yeah. Okay, so we have the raspberry syrup over here, and again, delicious on ice cream, and these wafers. So Mmm. Now that's good. And that's so simple to make. So this has been Pete, Kenshin1913, along with
Mom.
And we will see you in the next cooking episode. And
Enjoy and happy eating.
Tasty.